Yeah, let's go ahead and hit you guys with some quick shots. So the first one we wanted to talk about was GameStop selling their stocks. I guess they're selling like 3.5 million stock or something like that, and they're trying to get like about like $1 billion as like profit or maybe revenue or something like that they can consider that. But I mean, GameStop has been doing pretty damn good considering that little they were at like what, $20 or something like that, like
they're
sometime
like in the teens.
year.
Yeah, they're at the teens, and then they're at 158 today, which is still amazing. I thought it was just gonna crash and burn, but people are still, I guess they have the diamond hands or whatever, they're still holding on to their stupid stocks. And yeah, man, I was hoping, I guess I was hoping that GameStop could kind of benefit from this in some way. I don't know much about the whole market, so I wasn't sure how they're going to benefit, but because it's maintained the steady price for so long, they're going to be able to capitalize on the shares that they have.
Yeah.
Obviously it's going to drive the price down a little bit, which I don't know. I don't own the stock, so I don't care.
But it's going to allow people who didn't buy any stock to possibly consider buying it if it's a little bit cheaper, right?
Yeah, but I mean, in my opinion, you're full if you're buying GameStop for anything more than $10, because it's worth $10. Maybe it ain't worth it's not worth the same thing as Apple. And
that's where it's at right now.
Yeah, it's 158 right now.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they start opening up some more stores again,
it's not worth 158.
Because this is gonna help them so much.
Yeah, this is a shout out to the people, because the people made GameStop.
Saved GameStop.
They saved GameStop. You know what I mean?
They
because they're on the brink of extinction, dude. I was just waiting for the day to go.
They were shorted.
I was waiting. I was waiting to go to the store and buy everything on clearance.
Yeah.
Like everything on 50%. Let me get that. Let me get all the
statues. Yeah, I was looking for that stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna buy some shelves for my garage. I was gonna, but
you got like a whole freaking like Nintendo setup or whatever, like on the side.
Yeah. So there's shelving units, everything.
I wanted to buy some shelves for my garage. Yeah, I was waiting.
Cases.
That's what folks was doing when Toys R Us went down and stuff like that. So
everything.
I mean, like, I don't know how long a company can stand just being like online only and only having like a certain niche. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean, like Amazon is Amazon, but for them to just do video games and little video game knickknacks and trinkets and stuff like that, I don't know, if anybody's really gonna be rocking.
For sure, $1 billion will last them through the year, I would say. So they have one more year on their life expectancy.
They're probably just gonna use that to buy into something else.
Like help maybe transition.
That's true.
Like that's how I would use it, right? You cash out that money that the people gave you, basically,
and figure out how to make your website
you use
better.
That money, to like transition yourself to a more solvent company.
That's true.
Right? Transition to like a more Amazon. You'd never be Amazon, but something along those lines.
I mean, who was the people that bought Xbox had purchased like a good little percentage of them, right?
Microsoft? I thought Microsoft made a deal with them, so like they would use the surfaces in the store, and certain services would be through them.
They sold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they bought like shares.
It's like a partnership more per se.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so
it's just crazy because they have life now. You actually have some cash flow. You can actually make some decisions, fix some stuff up.
I can actually do something.
I'm wondering.
You can do something now.
I'm wondering if at any point, right, like the managers, probably not employees, but like the regular employees, but like if any managers got like stock options when they were working for GameStop, maybe. And if any of them actually kept it, maybe. Or like, they tried to toss it once it was going in the shitter. And like if they're plussing now, you know what I mean? If they're like
it's
doing
it extremely
well,
Christmas miracle, man. Christmas time, but you know what I mean? Like,
an extended.
I can imagine
Christmas
how
miracle.
many like CEOs are crying at home, knowing that their livelihood and business was saved, because it's crazy what happened. It's just absolutely crazy.
It's crazy. But I don't know the history of GameStop, but this could be I'm speculating here. But we don't know when's the last time they had $1 billion on hand.
Right.
So you're right. They could actually do something this time. Because I feel like this whole time they're on survival mode.
Yep.
Couldn't back. For
the last decade.
So they couldn't really innovate or do much because, they're just on struggle mode. Mm-hmm. So maybe this could be their one time in a while to actually, hey guys, we're going to implement something good for the people, power to the players or whatever,
Yep.
Yeah, I hope so. I didn't think that it was a smart idea for them to try to venture into the video game world, and they stopped that shit pretty quick. But I would like to see them try to like maybe make the service better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe give you back a little bit more. I'm sure if they gave you back a little bit more for your games that you're trading in and different things like that, and giving you more incentives, you would get more people that would
They're not
want
going to
to
probably
do
do
stuff
that,
like that.
but I don't know. I just want to see them transition to some type of more solvent business model.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that now. They have money to create that infrastructure, and so we'll see what happens, man. I don't want to see GameStop disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a hit and miss. Sometimes you go into a great GameStop and you're like, man, I love this store.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you go into a really bad one and you hate GameStop. It just depends.
It's just because
Store
the
to store.
employees, man. The
Yeah,
employees is
from
feeling
store
the
to
burn
store,
of
man.
the shitty store,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and everything. And
That's
so
true.
it's just like, yeah. But yeah. So another topic. There was news about a part shortage, right? Like some semiconductors or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
That are like very scarce, and they're so freaking cheap, like $1. But apparently, these semiconductors are needed in order to be able to produce these Xboxes and these PlayStation 5s.
Yeah, that's it.
And the
So-
graphics
Technology,
cards.
man.
and the graphics cards,
Yeah.
right? So this, shortage of these semiconductors could literally be the reason why we have these weak ass release drops of PlayStations every week and Xboxes, and the fact that you've got these graphics cards that are getting bought by all of these resellers
yeah.
and stuff like that,
Yeah,
So
scalpers.
yeah, does that seem like it could be the reason why there's this limited amount?
I
and
definitely
why
think
everybody's
it's
scrambling.
I think it's one of the reasons for sure. I think there's a couple shortages. This COVID era, this piece. There's probably other pieces too that are scarce. So yeah, it sucks that we're in this time, where Xboxes, PlayStations, and graphics cards are so overpriced because we're home. This would be the time, for us to play these things and enjoy these things. The one time when you could kind of guilty free, like, hey, I'm home. I don't got anything to do on a Friday. I can't go anywhere. Let's just play some games. But unfortunately, that's not the case. You're gonna have to pony up your whole stimulus check if you want to buy a graphics card, So, or if you get one.
So dumb.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's crazy to think when things come out like this, a $1 part, a part that costs pennies, is one of the reasons why everything's delayed. It's kind of eye opening, because you're like, wow, like there's so many dependencies. Like the value of something isn't necessarily, although it's only $1, it has a lot of value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just kind of eye opening sometimes.
Yeah. They sell trillions of those things. It's a huge industry, right? You need
Yeah.
it for all electronics. Everything uses semiconductors.
Yeah.
It's like the alien tech, man. It's how we shrunk technology down to the size of a microbot. But I think it does contribute, but they've actually pumped out quite a bit of PlayStations and Xboxes. Like they've pumped out millions and millions of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so while I do think it, like I agree, I think it's a tinier reason. I think the main reason is just scalpers. They're just buying millions of them. I think like had you imagine scalpers, imagine a world, right, where scalpers just didn't exist and every Xbox or PlayStation went to an actual consumer. I think pretty much everyone who wanted one would probably have one. I don't think we would have this nightmare that we're having.
Yeah, if we had gone to the
that perfect world, I think everyone who wanted one would have one.
Yeah, if we had stuck to the strict PSN ID, you sign
That'd
up,
be good, dude.
and then
That'd
boom,
been a
you get
great
a
path.
link in your
Yeah.
email, and you go. Like
Yeah.
that would have ensured that everybody who wanted a PlayStation got a PlayStation. You know what I mean? Because you'd have to come up with a whole bunch of PSN IDs
Yeah.
just to be able to do that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they probably realized like, oh, this has got the same email addresses or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But
That's what they should have done, dude. You're right. That
it would
would
have been
the
nice,
idea.
especially
That-
if you had history on your PSN.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, if you're a PSN and you're a PS Plus subscriber, that should have got you in something like
You should
some
have
priority.
guaranteed
Front of the
it,
line.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it's like you could
Or how long you've been a PS subscriber?
something.
I don't even, not
Yeah.
even how long. If you had subscribed
I'm
for
just saying
it
if
and
you
you
wanted
was
to get
past
like a
the free
line
trial,
started,
yeah.
Yeah,
right? You go, okay, we're starting with PS Plus members at the top, and then who's been the longest gets at the very top, and we just go down, and everyone gets one.
Yeah.
yeah, that would have
actually
worked. That would have
worked.
worked. Any system, would have worked.
I don't know if they could have ever anticipated this kind of scalping frenzy, but they might have been ignorant. I know the shoe market probably would have been able to anticipate it, but I don't know. This kind of hasn't really happened
I would say too, it's probably safe to say that the bots, the ease of botting, the popularity of botting has increased every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in 2014 or 2013 when the PS4,
right.
people were botting, but it was probably like homegrown bots.
Right.
Now you can go to these websites, buy a bot that has 100 million accounts on it, you know, and they're all web-based now, and it's just so bots are so popular.
Also, I think it's a culmination of like several things that just had to happen in order for it to it's like the fact that you've got everybody is at home, you know what I mean, like because a lot of stuff is getting shut down, so demand is up really high. And then on top of that, right, you have all of these different laws that have been introduced that allow people that even if you're not hurt, you can still capitalize on it. And so there's a lot more revenue. That there's a lot of people that don't have any revenue, but there are a lot of people who have like extra cash on hand. And so they jump into this, you know, this reseller world to make even more cash because they just have, you know, they have a good, you know, buffer. And so they're just able to purchase any and everything that's out there and try to flip that and make, you know, they're making hand over fist, you know, just because they have the bread to be able to initially purchase it, you know. But it's crazy. But
it's nuts, man.
Yeah, so since we were talking about PlayStation, a whole list of a couple of PS Now games have been introduced. Big ones, right?
Yeah.
So big-ish. Yeah, like we shit all over Marvel's Avengers, but that's one that's been introduced to the PS Now, and that's cool because it's fairly new.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's within like a year or so. And for
months,
that to be on PS Now, which has been like the graveyard of shit available for people, you know, it's kind of like, you know. And then on top of that, you got Borderlands 3.
Another
so I would expect that one to be on there because of how old Borderlands 3 is. So I could see that being on PlayStation Now more than I could Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, it's still relatively new though.
Yeah.
To be on PlayStation Now.
It's fairly new.
It's like you said, PlayStation Now is a graveyard. Mm-hmm. Borderlands is still very popular. Borderlands 3 is still very popular.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and then the last one was Long Dark, and I never played that one.
That sounds like a PlayStation Now game.
Yeah.
That's the kind of games I expect, right?
Right, the ones that you never really hear of or something, or, you know, whatever. But, yeah, so I definitely thought that was interesting that Marvel's Avengers would get onto PS Now. Because, for one, like, PS Now just doesn't get the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like I said, it's always the graveyard shift. So for that to be on there, but that also makes me wonder because PlayStation and Xbox seem to be battling each other of the games are free. Mm-hmm. Is that going to be on Game Pass soon?
No doubt, dude.
Like, I mean,
Xbox
already has Mass Square Enix stuff.
I was like taking bets. I think you said within a few months. I thought so too. I wasn't expecting PS Now to even be an option.
Me neither.
So I do expect it to be on Game Pass eventually. Clearly, I mean that it's on PS Now would indicate if PS Now can get it,
right? That they'll eventually.
Because you know how stingy Sony is. Then you know that Microsoft will be able to get it, right?
Yeah.
Like I just don't see it being much longer. But I was actually kind of surprised to see Borderlands 3 on PS Now. I don't know. PS Now is just like the redhead stepchild that no one, it's there. There you probably have a dozen subscribers. I'm just playing. Like I don't know. Like this isn't something like anyone has PS. I don't know anyone who has PS Now. Anyone who subscribes to that.
Wait, don't you got PS Now?
I had it for the trial month during December,
okay,
and I have to say it was awesome.
Yeah, he enjoyed it. He
But you played.
But
like
I played
indie
old shit.
Right?
I was playing Sega games from my childhood. I was playing old Goosebump, like games that you wouldn't want to buy.
That's what it's for. It's the graveyard, you know. It is. It's the graveyard. But there's one caveat here that I need to let you all know about is if you have a PS5, you cannot play the PS5 version of these games.
Really?
You have to play the PS4 version of them, even if you're on a PS5 or PS Now. So that sucks.
That completely sucks. That's garbage.
I wonder why. Is it just because they haven't optimized their servers to be able to handle PS5 type games, or
no? I think it's just they want you to.
They just want you to. They want to sell those actual copies.
That's so stupid because if you have PS Now on your console, you can have the option to stream it or download the game for certain titles. So it's like, dude, it should let you. If you're downloading, I can see if you're streaming it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
But if you're downloading it, freaking download because Borderlands has a good 4K next gen version of it. So that's a shame that you can't
it's a total shame.
Enjoy
it's not
that.
a deal breaker per se because it's a subscription service.
Yeah.
So you're like, whatever, I'll play it. It's still gonna be fun, right? Or you hope
if you've already had it. Now, if you didn't have it, the possibility of them or the fact that they're adding Marvel's Avengers might make you want to buy it. But then after you realize, oh, I got PS5 and all I got is the downplayed version, it might not. It doesn't interest me.
You really want to play the PS. You have a PS5, so you really want to play the PS5.
That's why you have it. Yeah.
That's why you have it.
Yeah, I didn't buy the new gen to play the old gen stuff.
It sucks, but I will admit that I still enjoyed Final Fantasy VII. Like I'm playing that on my PlayStation 5. I still really had a lot of fun with the time I spent on it.
Is that only the PS4 version?
I switched to Outriders for now, huh?
Is that only the PS4
it's the PS4
version?
version as well.
Yeah.
But that's all that's available right now, right?
Yes, but even when the PS5 version launches, you won't be able to use your PlayStation Plus.
Okay, that's what we were talking about last week.
On your PS5.
Right.
So they're making you have to buy that PS5 version, but it's fine. Like it's good. It's still good. A great game, in my opinion, is going to be a great game, regardless of generation.
For sure.
And so I think like Borderlands 3 will be fun. I don't think Marvel Avengers is actually that great. But I think it's fine. If you really had fun, like you said, like if you had already been playing it, you really enjoyed it, you love it for some reason. I don't mean to laugh. For some reason. I don't mean to laugh, but
if
you're
going to
be super happy to play it on the PS4 version. You won't care, right?
Yeah.
So it's good news.
Yeah, and I think the weird thing is though, all these games that we talked about, I would have thought these would have went to Game Pass first because Borderlands is already on the Handsome Collection is already on the Game Pass. So you would think that they would get this eventually,
right?
You know what I mean?
Off,
so I don't know how Sony
Game Pass,
maybe they, I don't know, dude. They did something weird, but shout out to Sony. That's cool that they do this, even though these games aren't amazing. Borderlands is great. I love Borderlands 3. I want to play that more. I have it on the Xbox, but I don't have it on the PlayStation. But I'm just waiting for Marvel's Avengers to be free because I actually do want to try that game. I think it would be a fun one. Like one day we try it out together. But it's just a matter of time before it's on Game Pass because this game was like suspect when they had Gum, they had DLC in Gum, Verizon, Intel.
Chips,
I mean, we did play it a little.
When all this, when I saw all that, I was like, dude, this is gonna be bad. I already can tell.
It was so
I mean, we did play it a little bit when we did the trial or whatever, the demo that they had, for that weekend or whatever. But I just remember it being like basically the same shit for every character.
That was the problem.
It just like felt maybe a little different.
No customization, no gear change.
Yeah, the fact that you couldn't look crazy different. It was just the skins.
As someone else.
But I'm talking about like
problems.
everybody had a ranged and a close attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind.
It was a cookie cutter, like you guys said, a cookie cutter
template
combat system.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind if Hulk all he did was close up. Like I don't need him to be able to pull a rock up and throw it,
dude.
Yeah, and you're not even causing permanent craters into the ground for this ability.
Yeah.
He's literally on top of a box, bashing in rock and then throwing it, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's in like a wooden house and he's throwing rocks. Why? It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I want there to be like the special characters that are literally special because like this is like they made according to the thing, you know what I mean? Like we've all seen the Hulk grab something like a helicopter or some shit, throw it, or a car or whatever and throw it and stuff like that. But if you just made Hulk pure melee, you know what I mean? If you made Iron Man, pure airborne or something like that. I mean, he got legs and stuff like that. But I mean, if you just switched up the gameplay,
largely plays at range,
right? So
stuff.
I mean, if you just kept that, and made some of these guys like especially different, you know what I mean? That'd be okay because I think it would give you a different flair to the gameplay.
It was lazy, man.
Yeah,
they just took a lazy route. Yeah, like of course,
it's just
if they
like
took
damn,
more time,
everybody
got
range,
but clearly they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a shame.
Yeah.
A shame.
So another quick shot we got is Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the alpha, that one is available right now, or at least it's not. Maybe it's not open, right?
Yeah. Okay. So starting on Thursday, they chose some mainstream people Asmongold, those kind of people. They got access. And then on Friday, they started sending the invites to the peons like me. I sadly didn't get one, so obviously I'm below a peon, whatever that can be.
A shmeon.
A shmeon. So I'm still waiting for my key. So Blizzard, please hook it up.
Yeah, if you're watching Blizzard, go ahead.
If you're watching this, Blizzard, I would love to play it, and I won't say anything bad about it. But no, I won't say anything bad about it because there's nothing bad to say. That this, I guess I'll call it a remake. This remake is really awesome.
It's more of a remake than a remaster, I think.
Yeah, because it's not like reinventing the wheel. It's literally playing on the code. The OG game is playing underlying. Is like underneath the skin of this. Mm-hmm. So it's really like a true like remake of it. I don't even know what you call it, but it so far it's only the first 2 acts. So like 1 and 2, and then there's only 3 classes.
A revitalization, right?
Yeah.
Like revitalized. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what to call it.
It's between a remaster and a remake, but what?
Yeah. But the good news is it's not like the Warcraft. So far, what I've seen, it's not like the Warcraft 3. They call
remaster rake.
They call that Reforged, but the Warcraft 3 was so bad. The game was just clunky. It didn't feel like the original.
Hated it.
It was bad. And this one, so far, it plays. From what I see, it looks. Everything is the same. Some of the sound is a little off, actually. Like on the sorceress, she sounds kind of weird. So I don't know why they just didn't use the OG sound.
Do you have to pay those actors again? So use their voice.
That's a good point.
The OG one though, but
yeah.
Once you purchase that,
some of the sounds are a little different, but other than that, dude, the game looks incredible. I can't wait to play this. This actually like brings so much nostalgia and memories. I'm actually more excited for Diablo 2 Resurrected than I am Diablo 4. And Path of Exile this week announced that they're making Path of Exile 2. So even that makes me more excited than Diablo 4. So the good news is that this alpha came out of nowhere. They just announced this at BlizzCon. They said it was coming in 2021, but no one knew when the alpha and the beta. And then
nor were they really probably believing that it was going to come out.
Yeah, because Blizzard is notorious for just like saying, "Hey guys, soon TM," and then like it's taken years.
Yeah.
So this came out of nowhere last week. They started posting on social media, and then boom, Thursday, Friday, this weekend we got the alpha. So I'm pretty pumped for this, guys.
I wasn't. Yeah, I will say that I thought it was my favorite announcement from BlizzCon. Shockingly enough, like even more so than Hearthstone. I thought that had some great news for Hearthstone, more than anything else. And it's a remake or whatever we call it.
Yeah.
And I was most excited for it because it just looked so great.
Yeah.
And they made like a great game look good, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to play that again. But I don't know if I'm more excited for it more than Diablo 4, but I can see your reasoning there because Diablo 4, I don't know, it didn't feel like they did enough of a change from Diablo 3 to me, in my opinion.
You're right.
When I watched the Diablo 4 gameplay footage, it looks very similar to Diablo 3 to me. And so it took some of my hype away when I saw the gameplay. But I love Diablo 3. I put like, how many hours have we?
I played that for thousands.
Hours, I don't know. I mean, I still love it. Even though we don't think it might be quite as good as 2, it's still like a masterpiece.
It's still awesome. Game. It's still fun as heck.
And so, like, I'm looking forward to 4 just because it's the new one.
Yeah.
But man, that 2 looks really good. I didn't want to sign up for it because I can't get it right now. Like, I can't play games right now, man. But I wanted to so badly, but I can't play.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say for you, Ray, because you haven't played 2 yet, but because I know like the gamer you are, you're gonna like it. Mm-hmm. For everyone who just started on 3, you may not like 2, but 2, if you pay attention to the story more, it's actually more polished. As far as the story, the NPCs, they actually all are more memorable than 3. Like those kind of things you'll like, and then the gameplay is just better. There's more players. The multiplayer is way funner because you have up to 8 or 10 players. I forget.
Wow.
So that, I don't know, they just went back on Diablo 3 on a lot of cool things, but I would say for Diablo 2, you're going to see a lot of things like, oh, I see where this came from. Things like skill trees, like you like skill trees in a while, right? Well, they actually started in Diablo from Diablo 2, which was weird. In Diablo 3, they took away skill trees.
Right.
So it's, you could get really complicated, and putting all your points, you could make some crazy builds in this game. So you're going to like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so another one was Bethesda finally upgrading their engine, just a little bit. Doesn't seem like it's like a major overhaul, but it's just something to help them out. And I think that was for Starfield, right? Because of Starfield, they were trying to upgrade their engine.
Yeah, it was. Trying to see here. They allowed source code or something like that. Yeah, they added open source code. Open source. So is that familiar to you, Mark? Can you fill us in
Open
on
source
what-
is
yeah.
free. Open source.
So people can like.
Yeah, anything that's
it, right?
open source, you
So,
can
like, mods and
you can
stuff like
use it
that?
openly for the community. There's no like, contract on it per se. It's just open for
Yeah,
people
it's
to
not
develop.
just for Starfield either. It's for Elder 6 as well.
That's dope.
So the
Okay.
2 newest games coming out are going to be open source code. So that's actually really good news, right? Because it's going to make their game a little bit more stable. More people can work, it's open
Yeah.
source, so it can be fixed and used
That's dope.
at its optimum, potential. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool news. I mean, I know we're all waiting hand and fist.
It's about time that they did any kind of upgrade. to
Yeah,
their
they needed
system.
an upgrade on this.
They did one. I think they did one for Fallout 76 or something like that, but that shit wasn't enough. Like they need to do a lot more.
It looks
like,
much like Fallout 3 did almost.
Yeah, I'm
Fallout 4,
still not
really.
sure. I don't know much about like game engines and the reason why you would stick with like an old crappy one or whatnot, or just like stick with the same one for so long. It
It
seems
takes a long time to develop a new one, right?
But I mean, you don't even have to develop a new one.
know
You
you
could
use, like,
just
Unreal or
use ones
something,
like
yeah.
Unreal or whatever that's out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
If you have your own, probably to have your own,
so you
flavor.
don't have to
Yeah.
have to
voice out in
pay
the
or whatever
world.
for the subscription or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I think also just this is ours, so like unique. Like when you see like Fallout or when you see Skyrim, it has that quintessential Bethesda look to it.
That's true.
Nothing else looks like it because it's their own engine.
Right, but it also comes with those quintessential
Bugs and
glitches
everything,
and
yeah.
different things like that.
Because they have a
so
vision
it's
on
like-
what they want. Like they want their world to be a specific way, right? And they want their AI to be a specific way, and so they want to develop all that. And I think that's why they do it. And I think it takes a lot of time and effort to do that, which is why they keep reusing the same one, just update it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. We got a couple of those screenshots a few months back of Starfield, and it looked just like Fallout 4 to me again.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, I don't know.
Stop reusing
There's
the same
something-
elements.
Yeah, there's something about like a new game that we tend as gamers to expect to look new too, to look different. And I noticed myself feeling that way. Like when I saw Diablo 4 we were just talking about. When it doesn't look it's disappointing when it's like, gosh, that just looks like 3.
Yeah.
It may
You
be
don't want
new,
something that
new
looks
powers.
reskinned.
Yeah, it's
You
like,
know what I
okay, yeah,
mean?
there
You
may
want
be a
it
new
to be
story,
look
new
totally
zones,
different.
powers, but when it looks the same, it sucks out the whole
Yeah.
joy. So I'm really hoping at least Elder 6, one of these games looks totally new.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's it for the quick shots.
I